because you only get snippets. What up, everybody? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's up?
What up? What up?
Welcome to another edition of the Brothers of Legacy. Is your man A.D. Walker with my brother Dwayne Goodson. Pastor might be rolling through. Terry is in the process of moving, so he will not be on today. So today, as you can see, we're talking about one of the biggest stains, I will say, that's been looming around the Black community for a long time, and I get it because some things start for a good reason. It's more or less lit. I don't want you coming around shooting at all, but we're gonna dig into all this. Good morning, Ms. Mimosa. Good morning, I'm Corey. Thank you guys for rocking with us. Listen, well, you know what? I'm gonna wait for more people to roll in, and then I'm gonna get on my what they call the soapbox. And we'll not a rant. It's not a rant. It's just an announcement. Something I need you guys to do, especially everybody.
PSA.
PSA. My Facebook people. That I need you guys to do. So hang tight. Hold on, and we're gonna get started. So this is your opportunity to share. Make sure you share. Sharing is caring. And
you talking about me or AD?
Who said that? I missed that.
GA said you look taller today.
Oh, he said the PSA. You're a mess. All right.
Operation Golden Flow.
There you go. Stop it. All right. I didn't want to catch that. Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to another. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's up, everybody?
What up, bro? Okay. AD, muted, brother. You muted.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, you good now.
All right, because on my screen, the video has paused. So it's like the video is still there. That's why I'm still muted. Can you guys see me? Yeah. Obviously, right? Because you can see my hand gestures. Okay, so I can't see you guys. I'm putting Pastor in. Can you see Pastor? Wonderful.
Yep, we can see him.
All right. So today we're talking about the no snitch rule. So I'm gonna hand it off to Dwayne real quick and just tell me what's your perspective on it. I'm gonna hand it, and then Pastor McCoy, you give yours, and then I'm gonna play a video from Pharrell and just a parental warning. It's some heavy language, but he speaks some truth in it. I didn't get a chance to censor it. But give me a moment. I'm gonna leave and come back. That's why I'm so giving a few instructions right there. So all right, Dwayne, give everyone your take on it. So I'll be right back.
It's not even it's not. I don't know if I can even call this sensitive because I'm in the era, which I'm pretty sure, Pastor, right? You probably seen this before too, right? Snitches or heard it anyway. Snitches get stitches. Yeah. See that was the I was told, and then some people get a little funky with it and say and end up in ditches. Where snitching became such a horrible thing from, because 9 times out of 10, snitching is generally doing the right thing. Well, I'm not gonna say 9 times out of 10 because that number might have changed since I was a child. But we got called snitches for telling our moms that our siblings were in the woods when they weren't supposed to be in the woods. Now, we were just having fun, but to mama, my baby might be hurt. I need to know where my baby at. Where your brothers at?
Right.
Or why you snitching on us? Right. And it went from that to, hey, yo, I need you to hold this piece for me. You know J Rock? Yeah. Let's just say he ain't breathing no more, son. You feel me?
J Rock is a real name.
He said, what? He said,
No,
what?
Rock might be a real name.
Right.
hey, look, no J Rocks were harmed in the thought process of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. but it went from something innocent that was about protection to a whole nother level, and it's concerning because
Right.
I would get labeled as a snitch
Right.
for telling the police that, hey, there's a dude in my neighborhood selling heroin and selling crack, and my 15-year-old daughter might have got a hit of it. Now I'm a snitch because I'm telling on a local drug dealer.
Right.
But am I really a snitch, or am I protecting my family?
Right.
And we snitches have been demonized because the police have started using them. I think that's the honest to God truth. If you take the police side of snitching,
Right.
then not be looked at the same way anymore. But snitching is a term for me that is confusing because you become demonized for doing the right thing. Go figure.
Right. Right. What about you, Pastor? What is your initial feelings about the whole snitch culture?
Well, I've been on those streets. I've been with that dude. So
Right.
I'm on the Bible says in Joshua 24:15,
Right.
choose ye this day,
Right.
or say, if it seem evil unto you,
Right. Right.
right? Choose ye this day whom you will serve. Will it be the God of your fathers on the other side of the flood,
Right.
or the God of the Amorites in whose land ye not dwell? Then he goes on to say, but as for me and my house. So
Right.
I'm speaking from the perspective of somebody who used to be on the other side of the flood.
Right. Right.
Right.
Right.
That's
When
a
I
good
was on the
analogy.
other side of the flood, what'd you say?
That's a great analogy. I like that, sir.
Yeah.
Be you.
Having been on the other side of the flood,
Right.
where I was in agreement with keep your mouth closed.
Right. Right.
Now that I've come on this side,
Right.
I realize how it was the dumbest, most ignorant thing I could have ever done.
Right.
Because
Right.
I was bringing harm to my own community.
Yes. Yes.
So
Definitely.
in that regard, the greatest negative impact to our community
Mm-hmm.
is keeping your mouth closed when you see crimes against your very community
Right.
going on.
Right. Right. Right.
Bro.
So wow.
That look.
Walking
I
into
want
the
to
actual
do a
scripture.
little.
Good morning, Cole.
And look, and Mimosa, she over there. I'm still calling her Mimosa, but I'm gonna call you that for a while. I'll start calling you by your name soon enough. But when she put dry snitching on there, look, that took it to a whole nother level. See, because dry snitching is different than regular snitching.
Right.
Look, all of it is based on morality, right? I think snitching, all of it has something to do with morality, but
Yeah.
goes with morality versus immoral, or moral versus immoral, and the other one is legal and illegal. And is there a difference? Like for real, like Pastor, is there a difference? Like I feel if you saw a 6'4" bald-headed black guy with a salt and pepper beard, right, speeding out of the neighborhood right after you just heard 15 shots and you've never seen this car before, it's okay to tell that's what you saw at that time and it might be this guy.
Right.
I'm with that. But let's talk about the dry snitches. Is it right? Because and this is going to be funny, but it's going to be serious at the same time. Because the reason why I didn't like Kobe Bryant all these years.
Oh gosh.
And it's real.
I know. I mean, I know where you're going with it. I got
Kobe was dry snitching. See, Kobe was telling on all his teammates because he got caught up.
Right.
Since he got caught up, he was trying to throw blame off of him.
Right.
So Kobe started talking about a whole lot of when he said, "Well, nobody said anything about Shaq." Nobody said
that. Right.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
So that dry snitching, it literally left me not liking Kobe until the day he died. When he died, I had a different perspective for him, and it touched me in a whole different way.
What are you about to say, Pastor?
No, I didn't mean to cut y'all, bro. Yeah, because if you wasn't gonna tell before you got caught, why are you telling now that you got caught?
Right.
That's a whole nother. Yeah, that's a whole nother.
That's the realm. That's the Nino Brown effect right there.
Yeah, but going back to your earlier statement, though, Dwayne, you said something. You see the car that you've never seen in the neighborhood leaving the neighborhood after you heard 15 shots.
Right.
But what if it was your cousin? You recognized the car.
Right.
You saw him leaving.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
I got my brother who's been on here. Literally broke out of jail one year.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm snitching. Nah, listen to me. We were in Kentucky and he got caught up, and he had already done 10 years or something, 5 to 10 years. I don't know what it was at the time. And he I don't know how he did it, man, but dude was, he over 6 feet tall, like 225, chiseled, and look, he's sitting there.
Family like, what?
And I'm at work and he shows up and I'm like, you supposed to be like, he's man. I'm getting out of here, bro. I'm getting out of here. I'm like, how'd you get out? He was like, I jumped the fence. I'm like, the fence is 15 feet high. But why? I'm like, I got over the thing. And I'm like, and so right in that moment, I'm like, we got to get him out of town.
Right.
We got to get him out of town. Right.
Live from the Book of Brian, people. Live from the Book of Brian.
Right.
Listen,
look at Phil.
Listen. So
this is real.
We tried to get him out of town.
Okay.
And I'm calling my mom. I don't know if my mother was in California at the time or still in Illinois. And I'm ready for the story. He got out. We got to get him out. We got to hide him. And then it hit me. I'm like, wait, that's an automatic 5 years tacked on the end because you'd have jumped the fence. Wow. And I'm like, bruh, we can't go nowhere.
We're gonna get the 8 in the bed.
Right, you about to get it. Yeah.
If you go down, I'm gonna be in the jail with you.
Right.
Nah, we going back. So it's not that I snitched.
Right.
We went back to jail.
Right.
Because it just
right.
But yeah, that's a true story.
Wow. Look, that's
I don't know about that, Jeezy. Yeah.
But you know what? Believe I like that he put that there because
I do. So we can have this conversation.
I think that right there.
Yeah.
Can you put it back up there for a second?
Oh yeah. Hold on. Let me read it out. Hold on, because my podcast people don't know what it is. My man Jeezy said, "I don't like helping our oppressors. It's like the slaves telling on the fleeing slaves."
And I think that
here's the thing. Here's what you got to realize. The question is, who's wrong? Right? Because if you are doing a disservice to your community, you wreaking havoc on your own community. You killing yourself.
Right.
And the thing is, the laws are the laws.
Right.
It's one thing to talk about being disenfranchised.
Right.
It's another thing to understand what the laws are and break them.
Right.
Because when you intentionally break them
Yep.
and you look like me, you're
Right.
not only hurting yourself, you're hurting
Right.
your family, you're hurting your children, you're
Right.
hurting the future of that community. Right.
Exactly.
So why am I going to be trying to press my way forward when I got this knucklehead over here pulling everybody back?
Right.
Nah, sorry, bro.
Right.
I'm
Right.
not helping the oppressor.
Right.
I'm killing the oppressed. Yeah,
Right.
I take that back. You are helping the oppressor, because if you out here committing
Right.
these crimes in your own community, you
Right.
selling out because of your own people and all of that, because you're trying to come up. You are the oppressor.
Yeah, but that, but
let's leave with that.
we
Yeah, you can talk about slavery, but I'm not talking about turning in a runaway slave.
Right.
Because
That's not what I'm talking about.
we all on the same line there.
Yeah.
And I think that that place, the reason why I wanted you to put it back up there is because I think that place that he first put, he don't want to help our oppressors. It was that place where snitching or telling became problematic for our community.
Right.
And I think that even moving forward, the reason why a lot of us feel a certain way when it comes to that is because we've lived in a system that hasn't always been just. Yeah, laws exist, but the system that enforced the laws wasn't always just. So that feeling, that's why you get a Cameron feeling like, yeah, if I got a murderer living next door and I know he'll murder, am I turning him in, Dougie? Nah, son. I don't talk to cops.
Right.
Nah,
Yeah.
like, and then there's the other side of it. Some people ain't built for crime. Let me throw this out there. When I was a cop, for those of you that know me, you know my personality. You know how I get down. You know probably how I interact with people.
Right.
And what you see right here is what you saw in the streets, except if you took it to second gear, I can take it to second gear quicker. The only difference is I've learned that some people should not be in criminal lifestyles. You shouldn't have it. You are not built for it. You're not built for them streets. You're not built for the pressure. You're not built for what comes with that lifestyle. Sunday, when the Super Bowl was in Atlanta, I was working an off-duty job in Buckhead.
Hey.
I was doing store security. What's going on? I was doing store security, and my only job was to make sure they didn't get robbed. Outside of that, I won't bothering people. So I'm standing up there looking all handsome with my stuff on, have my beard all, and I was like, it's Super Bowl Sunday. Who knows who might come through the store to pick up some chips that they forgot for the party. So I'm looking right. And then, mind you, I'm in Buckhead.
Right.
Here comes this little dude. He's flamed out. For those of you that don't know what flamed out means, he's got on all red representing his Paru set or perpetrating, whichever one. He has the stereotypical dreads. He has stereotypical Lil Wayne tattoos and the Gucci tattoos all over the face. So even if he won't hard, he's giving off the vibe like, hey, I might be that dude you don't want to mess with.
Right.
And I'm cool with it. I'm like, I'm not stereotyping because I'm like, there's a whole lot of producer money. There's a whole lot of behind the scenes ghostwriting money. And there are a lot of smart people who are comfortable on skin and Buckhead who look who could be a walking stereotype. So I was like, it's cool. This dude came in the store like 8 times. And after he came to the store 8 times, it was like the 9th time that he all of a sudden he gets froggy and he starts bucking on this old cashier. Like, I don't care, B, get me the MFing manager.
Wow.
And I'm like, see, this is what I said to myself. I said, self, I did not come here to do real work. I did not come here to do paperwork.
Right.
I came here to stand here and be a physical deterrent.
Right. Somebody's here. Somebody watching.
See this police officer. Oh, he's not security because that's a real gun. Oh, wait a minute. Is that enough? Okay, yeah. Oh, we can just come in here, act right, and leave. But no, he didn't want to go that route. He had already passed 6 counterfeit $100 bills, and he ran into somebody who knew that Yeah, this is an old Benjamin, but
Right.
old Benjamins don't feel like this. This is
Right.
wrong. And she said, and all she said was, baby, I don't think this money is real. I can't take this. So
Right.
I walk over and I just had a conversation. Somebody gonna make me run today. They look, I got gray hair and everything, but I'm like, I'm in shape now. Don't get it twisted. Long story short, dude takes off.
Wow.
I tried to grab him.
Right.
And I took the first 3 steps with him. And before I know it, he's out the door, and the sliding door is like this as I'm going through it. And I knocked the doors off their hinges. When I knocked the doors off the hinges, I was like, nah. It was the pride competitor in me at that point. I was like, now I got to get him.
No, man.
Yeah, it's embarrassing that doors getting in my way like this. So about a block and a half, and then he was off the premises, and I was like, I'm gonna let him go. Called it in. 2 Atlanta police bring him back to the store for positive identification after they called him like 3 minutes later.
Right.
And I walk over to the car, and young brother looking at me. All of a sudden, nothing about him is hard.
Right.
And he's like, hey, do something for me, man. This ain't even my money. I just got out of jail for armed robbery yesterday. I'll give you the number. Look, this the number calling me right now. This his money. Look, I said all that to say this. Some of y'all ain't cut out for this life. You tell him before people ask him. Look, nobody's even applied pressure yet, and look.
I don't want to go. I don't even want to go downtown. I don't even want to get in the car. Don't put me in the car.
For some of y'all with these dudes that are suspect, and you think that he's solid, he 100. Look, I'm telling you now, y'all talk. Y'all scary.
Yes, sir. You better say that, bro. When push come to shove,
right.
A lot of
scary.
That what you can't tell is while they barking, their tail is already between their legs.
Facts. Look, when I worked as a police officer, I was transparent and honest with my community, and I'm still gonna be transparent and honest with my community. Half these dudes that y'all respect as being hard and real, telling you, baby's bottom. Well, every time I see that, I look. I just know he was with the ish. He was with the ish.
But what you don't know, here's the part that people don't know. This is the post.
Oh, Killer B and me.
Juke.
And he said Killer B and me.
Yeah,
that's Juke.
That's Juke.
Right. Right.
It's it right.
So if that's Juke.
Right, Ramon. So
who is Killer B?
Right. Right.
Right.
So it's always the quiet looking one too. Notice I said looking, quiet looking.
Right. Hold on, you got to pull it back a little bit. Let's see. It's still it's focusing on them.
So there's one huge dude that everybody ain't gonna say nothing to.
Oh,
look, you and the dude over there, you and the other dark skinned shorter dude.
Yeah,
y'all was the starters. I can't say the adjective that comes before that because I try not to talk that way no more. But y'all the defecation starters.
We are walking proof that God is real and that transformation is real. So that's my boy G that you're talking about.
Yeah, G. Yeah,
and that dude cut up so much it wasn't even funny. But I think the point that I'm trying to make is you're right.
It looked like.
Well, that's the thing, right? Some of us will get into it because we know who we have with us.
Right.
Ooh. Hey, say that again. Hold on. Say that again for the people in the back.
Some of us will get into it quickly because we know who we have with us.
Right. Yes, you know. Look at that. Oh my God.
Lord,
I'm telling you, right?
Why are you showing those pictures? Why are you showing those pictures? right?
Man.
And so when we talk about snitching, there's a lesson in all of that. This is why we have to get right.
Right.
Because
Oh,
the
wait,
quickest
hold on.
one,
Right. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I just see that because you've been talking. Go ahead. He said the quickest.
the quickest ones to turn. Look at my wife. Look. the quickest ones to turn are the ones closest to you. I need to stop.
Can we pause for a second, Pastor? For all of y'all that don't know, First Lady Christelle McCrory, she ride for her husband.
Yes.
Hard.
Yes, indeed.
So when she makes that statement, for those of you that don't know, I'm gonna have to redirect your attention. Can you pull that statement back up, good sir?
All right.
Let me for the podcasters, for the listeners. She said,
Yes.
I just logged in, and that picture is the first thing I saw. Lord Jesus, thank you for being with my pastor.
Yes,
See, what that says to me is she knew a little bit of that man.
Right.
And when she said,
wait,
Lord,
hold on. What you don't know is that's the other part about what you do to your community.
Right.
This is why it's important to get, because I had her with me.
Come on.
You understand? Because she was my wife, she wore them colors too.
Right.
Come on.
She had them colors. So yeah, she was with me in that and didn't want to be, but she knew she had to be with me.
Right. Right.
So the reason why I feel the way that I feel is because I know what you are subjecting your family to.
Right.
See, my family had to pay the price for the crimes that I committed. Right. And a lot of folks look at her and they're like, well, you know what? I know she'll ride or die because she was out there riding with me. Right. You understand? Right. And there were times when she had to say, she said to me I'll never forget one day, she said, you realize that you have me out here too. Wow. My mind was, you ain't got to be out here. Right. You get home. Her thing was,
ain't nobody being out here.
Right. Her message was, how can I not be out here? Right. See, some of these women need to learn that. And look, we was Bonnie and Clyde for real. She wasn't giving the crimes, but she was showing on the back of that bike.
Right. Let me hit some of these comments real quick. Mike said, I used to be under the code laws, but when you start burying your friends, and you have to start reevaluating those codes.
That right there. Because what you didn't see was those orange crosses on our vests.
Right.
That was for dead soldiers. Wow. Right. Every cross represented somebody we had to put in the ground, and you start looking at
the whole story.
Yeah. And it's like it doesn't make any sense. What are you doing? And so when we talk about, so that's why I don't like the term snitching.
Right.
Now you snitching if you in there with everybody doing dirt and you telling.
Now,
Pastor, but when you out there in the community and they messing with your community, you're not a snitch.
Right.
I love that. You know what? I'm going into Facebook and find the Brothers of Legacy, and I'm gonna type that in just so y'all can let that marinate. Let that marinate.
So while he's doing that, speaking of Facebook, good segue. I like the way that rolled in. Every single person that's in here on Facebook, I need you to do something for me. I need you to go to the Brothers of Legacy Facebook page, hit that button that says invite people to like page. Hit that, and right at the top, especially if you're doing it on a computer, hit select all. Hit send. That's it. Let all your friends and family know about Brothers of Legacy. You enjoying this content, let everybody else know about the content. Because it's growing, but I need you guys to help us out with that. A lot of people are coming in. We're trying to have these conversations that's going to shape and shift our community. And it's not just us talking. As you see, we interact with you guys. So it's not just us, because you ever go in those broadcasts, you see them talking, but no one's commenting on what people are saying. We like to comment. We like the conversation because you guys take the conversation to another level. A lot of times you guys say things that give a different perspective and kind of shift us. So do that for me. You can do it now. You can do it right after the broadcast, but do that as soon as possible. All right. Sam said, hey, Pastor, like he the only one on screen. Good morning.
You ain't gonna say hey to her husband first. Hey, you out of pocket, Sam. You out of pocket.
Good morning. It's Kalinda, hey, good morning. And she said, hello, guys. I've lived the life of crime and there's straight up genocide out there. Mo said he looks like he started with the mess with the beers to see. Oh, let's slide down. Okay, he said, Jesus said crime is a product of circumstance for most. We are owed reparations, but both.
Right pause right there on that one, because that is such a profound statement.
Right.
And I agree with, is it G.Y. Jeezy? I don't want to say it wrong.
I'm gonna shoot for Guy Jeezy. Guy Jeezy, maybe.
Guy Jeezy. Okay. So crime is a product of circumstance for most. Right. And what you basically saying is it's the only way that I can get it.
Right.
That's what you're saying. You're saying that because of the circumstances upon which have been placed on me, I didn't do this to myself. This was done to me.
Right.
That this is the only way that I can make it out.
Right.
Now, that is a debatable statement in and of itself, because that bears the question, is a person who lives like in Georgia, if you in Bankhead, if you grew up in Bankhead, or Decatur, where it's great is what they say.
Right.
Right.
Used to be.
What's up, Dr. G?
You know, the question is, if you live in that zip code, are you a victim?
Right.
We had this debate. I had this debate about 15 years ago. In certain zip codes where it's the hood and everything is on a block by block situation. And if you trapped in that, are you considered a victim? Because you said a crime is a product of circumstance for most, you said, for most people.
Right.
And I would tell you that for every person that decides they want to get out there and hustle illegally to come up, there's a person out there who hustled legally and came up. Right. So you have to be, you said crime is a product of circumstance for most. Who's guilty when you grab low hanging fruit? Is it a bad thing when you grab low hanging fruit? Right. It's an easy thing when you grab low hanging fruit. But yes, the question is, have you broke somebody else's leg to grab the fruit?
Right.
Because the truth is, you have the ability to get fruit. You may not be fast enough to get the low hanging fruit.
Right.
You may have to climb a little bit to get your fruit. But if you don't feel like climbing and you'd rather get the low hanging fruit, but it's going to cost somebody else's life. Nah, that's choice. That's not forced on you.
Yes, indeed. That's the main thing.
And I don't know how I feel, because there's some agreement and some disagreement with
it's debatable. That's true.
But because I was in Chicago specifically. Never lived in Chicago, but I've been to the South Side. But when I went, it was for church purposes. Yeah, I was a church boy. I won't run in the streets because I don't know if I'd have made it back. But
that's good.
What I like about what you said, Pastor, is I believe, because of my life and how I approach things, that you're absolutely right. Everything we do in life is based on us and the choices we make, regardless of the mitigating or external circumstances. However, I have started to look at certain people and just come to the conclusion, we know a lion is going to be a lion. Even if you put him in a zoo to an extent, he's still a lion. He might full-on Sahara South African safari lion. He's still a lion. A snake is still going to be a snake.
Right.
And then I look, biblically speak, and I understand how images and how the image of what we see to be the heaviest influence in our lives. And generally speaking, most of the time, those things help shape what we become.
Right.
When you look in these neighborhoods, you go to the school systems. Well, a lot of the there to teach them any decent education. I thought public schools. I thought all public school systems were like the public school I went to in South Carolina. But when I look back on things, shoot, some of the smartest people I knew, some of the smartest people I know to this day came from that same public school in South Carolina. So I look at like, man, public school ain't so bad. But then I look at some people from some inner city schools in New York, from some of my cousins, and I'm, man, y'all dumber than a box of rocks. How did I don't get it.
Struggle.
I say that to say that. I say that to say this.
All right.
Sometimes in our own situations, and I know you've been through both, Pastor, so I'm not saying you, but for a lot of naysayers out there, it's easy to sit back in a place of comfort and say that, oh no, you got to choose. It's your choice. When you options that don't resemble mine, because you put the average person from Beverly Hills on the south side of Chicago, they're either going to end up dead or they're going to be the same way.
Right.
That's it. I mean, so yeah, that's a poignant point.
Let me jump in there real quick. So I agree with what both my brothers have said, and it is a product of circumstance, and sometimes some people feel like there's no other way. It's no other way out. And I agree definitely 100%. We are owed reparations. Doesn't mean reparations will stop the crime. So I want to make that clear. That is, just because we get an influx of money, everybody can get $10,000 in their bank. Every African American can get $10,000 in their bank account right now. That doesn't mean people still won't go out and hustle. That still doesn't mean the drug flow is going to stop. So I wanted to make that clear, but I did want to make it clear that I am 100% for reparations. Let me bust out some of these comments because they're saying some great stuff. Michael Gibbs said, listen, I had a friend that had a full chemical engineering scholarship, got caught with drugs in school zone, threw the book at him, known drug dealer, get 2 days for the same type of crime. No, we need disparity in judgments with the justice system. I knew he had to be an informant. That's possible. Dr. G said, good morning, but the blessings to you as well. We are owed a lot, but integrity must be taught. So do right because it is right. Exactly. Because because God made me man, not a beast. Exactly.
But it has to be taught. He said that right. It has to be taught. And like Pastor says all the time, these Moseses out here, you need to start identifying Joshua's and start implementing and preparing them for what's going to be in life. For you're going to have 10, 15 years with people with no vision, no direction. And what do you think happens in those environments? People become savages.
Well, people think that we're still living. There are certain people who have this mindset that we're a cursed generation, right?
Right.
And people, the book of Romans tells us that Jesus came and reversed the curse, because Romans 5 talks about the first Adam who brought sin, and then it talks about the second Adam, Jesus, who brought life. Right? Adam brought sin brought forth death. Jesus made the ultimate sacrifice and brought life. So Jesus reversed the curse. And what I've learned is we're not cursed, but to what's that brother's name? Guy Jeezy. If you don't get the guidance and what you're really saying, and I know what you're saying, because it's the practice of iniquity that gets passed down from generation to generation. And when it comes to being a product of circumstances, listen, this is what most people don't recognize about the Bible. The 10 Commandments, which is basically the definition of sin. Sin defined came in the 10 Commandments. Before that, the only thing man was instructed was to not eat of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Right. It didn't say, there was no word, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not. The commandments didn't exist. They didn't come until Moses. Right. Amen. But people were guilty of committing wrong from Genesis through Exodus.
Right. Yes, indeed.
So if there was no definition of sin, but sin still brought forth death, because in the beginning, when Adam sinned, when they disobeyed in the garden, sin brought forth death. There was no death sentence on man until they ate of the fruit. Right. Exactly. And please slay, Cain and Abel. Right. So what I'm saying to you is, from Adam to Moses, people were still dying as a result of sin, but sin hadn't even gotten defined yet. There was no definition for it.
Right.
The 10 Commandments came to validate our inability to live right.
Right.
It was basically to say, y'all can't get right if you want to. That's why you got to sacrifice everything. You feel me?
Got it.
So what I'm saying to you is, if people were dying, if they were losing their life for doing wrong before sin was even defined, that means there's always an out.
Right. Right.
You always have a choice, or else God wouldn't have allowed people to die before sin was even defined.
Right. True. True.
And I'm saying it's a harsh reality.
Right.
It's a harsh reality. But the thing is, we are without excuse. But the Bible declares that we're born in sin. We was born to do wrong. That's why we have to be born again.
Right.
Say that part. And look, and that part, I know I'm slightly going a tangent. It's going to be a quick tangent. I don't care what you are. If you're gay, okay. If you're lesbian, okay. If you're a thief, if you're a liar, if you're a crook, don't matter how you were born, what you think you are, what you feel like. In order to get it right, you got to be born again, period. So, I like this. I like it.
Right. Oh, so
Mufasa.
Ooh, say it again. Let's see. It said the young brothers aren't getting guidance. I feel like for some there is, it's the people in your neighborhood is paying attention to what's going on. I mean, I know it can be difficult with either trusting adults, and trusting those that are in authority. And a lot of us had to have someone step in, to really give us that hard talk, that we either respected and listened to. But in the end, I do agree that environment can cause the crime, and financial issues can happen. But in the end, it's still a choice. We still we're still riddled with the choice. And like, Pastor was saying, not the curse, but if you grew up only watching your cousins and even your father hustle, is you begin to think this is the way of life. This is what we do to survive. And never seeing an out. So with that, I give credence to that. But at the same time, it's still a choice. People that hustle still know they're committing a crime. There's no question. They know what they're getting into is against the law. You know what you're doing. And coming back to the snitching, when crimes are committed, do you tell? So let me ask you guys this, knowing that, the drug selling is not great for our community. Do you, and in the words of defining snitching, do you dry snitch? Do you tell, on what's destroying your community, or do you let it continue to happen? Should we begin to rid ourselves of the dealers and things like that?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be real.
Keep it real.
I got levels. There's levels for me. I know some people would disagree that marijuana may not be, because I believe that marijuana is not as serious as most of the other things that people talk about. So if I see that, I'm like, it is what it is. But I'll tell you the same. No, I'm gonna say it this way. I see it the same way when I was a cop. If you had marijuana and I pulled you over, what happened? You was gonna get that daddy to son talk. I wasn't gonna take you to jail. I wasn't gonna arrest you, but you're gonna wish that, like, man, just you making me feel bad. Just stop right now. Just don't talk to me no more. This hurt. I'm gonna give you that talk. Look, son. In Georgia, I can pull you over and check every single part of your car right now, right? You know how stupid that is? Do you know how the system is actually set up against you? This is a conversation I had with people, that you're going to be put away for a blunt, and now it's going to affect whether you can it's going to affect whether you can own it's going to affect your ability to work. I was like, is it really worth it? I was like, nah. Next thing, throw it out the car, step on out, stomp it out.
Right.
Use your brain. Now, If I found crack cocaine on you, am I having that conversation with you? Absolutely not. I had a brother who smoked crack, and I saw what it did to families. That's a whole nother level of so no. In that case, yeah, I'm arresting you. So if I wasn't arresting you, am I snitching? I don't think if you in my neighborhood, you ain't finna sell. I put it like this: you ain't selling crack in my neighborhood.
Right.
You ain't selling heroin in my neighborhood.
Right.
Now, if I go to your neighborhood and on you, then something happened to me. I can't be mad at you.
Right.
But in my neighborhood, nah.
Right.
You got to get up out of here. You either get out or I got somebody to come help you escort you out. Yeah, that's how I feel.
So two things. So Jeezy said, and Guy Jeezy, if that's your name, let us know. Make sure we pronouncing it right. If that's not your name, let us know your real name.
Give us some phonetics in the comments.
Yeah,
man.
I think it's G Jeezy, but I don't know.
G Jeezy. Okay. Oh, thank you, G Jeezy. Let us know. So he said it's the drugs that government allows in the country. Blacks don't own pipe fields and can't ship here. I get that. We know that. But it's still a choice for me to sell it to Pastor. Still a choice for Pastor to smoke, snort, inject, whatever I give him. So, and that's the thing. What is it?
GY.
Oh, okay. GY. All right. There we go.
Okay.
So we're just going to go with that. So GY. So yeah. So I think it's the personal responsibility that I really want to focus on. In our community, it's our personal responsibility because I get it because there is. And where did I see the other one? The other
She said we marched on the corners
right.
where they were selling it. And that's what we did in South Central back in the 90s.
Right.
We were closing down after the Rodney King riots.
Right.
LA went up in an uproar, man. And so what happened is, let me back up a second because I want to get back to GYGZ's comment about the state of mind. When I was on the south side of Chicago, I'll never forget the grocery store that we would shop at right up the street from where we lived. That grocery store caught on fire. And they didn't board it up. So anything that did not burn up was still in there on the shelf. Mm-hmm. And we didn't have much of nothing. We lived in an apartment where the gangsters would come, the basement in our apartment building, they would go down there and make bets. They was putting cats and rats in rooms and seeing who came out. They'd make bets to see if the cat or the rat would win. That's the hood that I was in. That's how hard it was. That's how jacked up it was. So this grocery store had a fire and the walls were down. The grocery store was open. The fire trucks were there. Police would try to keep people out of there. But when the police weren't there, folks was running in there, grabbing whatever.
I need that.
And we asked our auntie. We was with my aunt Jackie, who's in Arizona now. I wish Shanae, we was with Aunt Jackie, Squeaky. We asked her, me and my brothers, can we run up the street and go get some groceries out of the grocery store? Because we look in it and we can see out the window everybody else getting it. 2-liter bottles of soda, bread, and they coming out of there with everything, right?
You might have to wipe a little soot off, but you.
Yeah, and on our shelf we had peanut butter and cream of rice. You understand?
I never even heard of cream of rice.
Yeah, it was a struggle. You understand? And what I'm saying is, we asked Aunt Jackie if we could go up there and get some stuff.
Right.
And she was like, nah, you ain't going up there. We was like, everybody else going up there. She was like, yeah. And they could go to jail.
Right.
She said, if you got money to pay for it, we're going to go to another store. But if you ain't got money to pay for none of that stuff, you ain't going up there. And that's when I learned just because everybody doing it don't make it right. And even if you're the only one doing it, it don't make you wrong.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And I'm glad you showed the picture from earlier because it's. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna show a picture. Mine ain't as hard as yours, but this was me. I don't know if you can.
Hold on. There we go. Is that it? Boom. Hold on. Bring it over. Okay.
See, this is me. So
you like Kanye.
So here's the difference though, and like I said, I'm glad you showed the picture because what we see in both pictures, what you were and what we were, is what happens when different information, different principles are introduced to your life, and applying those principles information. So what I would say is to anybody who would look down their nose at any criminal in the city or rural area who's been subjective to the life that they've lived. My suggestion to you is that you find that person and you help change the narrative by giving them a different point of view, giving them a different perspective. If change starts with what you can see,
right,
you will never believe what you haven't first seen.
That's real.
Jesus,
that's real.
You will never believe what you haven't first seen. You have to see something first. So
until you have been enlightened, right? Because that totally changes when you come into Christ. Right. Because there are many things that I believe that I have not seen.
Right. and look, and Halcino,
we had that conversation.
We had that conversation with GYGZ earlier before you came in. So that's what you
get for being late, Halcino.
Hold on, Pastor. I gotta give him one though. Did you see this right here? That was a good jab though. I like that. I gotta give you props for that one. That was a good one.
But yeah, that was a good joke.
Yes. No, but we're not talking about we're all on the same page. When it comes,
nice.
Well, at least and that's the other thing. See, you gave me a great segue, Halcino. See, most people are so worried about here and here, and they forget about legs.
Right.
Look, society's the same way.
Right.
You work on the stuff that people compliment you on, or the stuff that looks good in shirts and stuff, or you go to college, you're so smart. Oh, you bought your mama a house. Oh, that's so cool. Come on, Donald Trump.
Right.
You look, you could be rich and successful and still, even though you're making money, quote unquote, the legal way. So
I want to go. You said something, Dwayne. I want to go back to something because you were on the path a minute ago when you were talking about the impact of change, the change of mindset, right? The way we live our life now, because we're talking about snitches and whether snitching hurts or helps a community, right? And the reality is it depends on your perspective, whether you think it's short term or long term.
Right.
Because if you want to rid your community of offenders, then it can only help, but it's going to help in the long run.
Right.
When people like my cousin said, they marched on them corners,
right?
But that march had to begin with one person who looked absolutely crazy,
right?
But they had to get somebody to join with them,
yep,
right? And what I'm saying is, how many of us are going to be that trigger? How many of us are going to be that shifter? How many of us are going to want to affect change? In our life today, this was a great AD, man. The conversation, the question was absolutely beautiful. It was awesome today. It was awesome.
Appreciate it.
I would say that we're in a situation now where there should be no question of what we want for our community. Right. Which is why everybody in Georgia should have two of these.
Right.
And I tell people, look, I was holding up one and realized, wait a minute now, you got to hold up both of them so people know you voted twice. Right. To prove that you've been back out there and they're different.
Right. That's good. My vote. Right.
In this day, you can talk. I heard a rapper, one of these producers say, I don't have time for simple conversation. He said, I don't have time for people who aren't talking about anything.
Right.
That's what he said. I forgot the name. I forgot that brother's name. He said, if you're not speaking about something that's productive, that's going to get us to the next level, I don't have time to converse with you. I don't have time to wait. He said, I don't want to waste brain real estate for empty talk.
Right.
He says, I'm reserving the real estate in my mind for conversations that will get me to another level.
I'm trying to remember who it was who said that. Yeah.
I can't remember what his name was, but he said that.
Right.
And it clicked because our job, the whole reason we're here is to have. I knew we should have took that picture. You said we should have took the picture when we voted together. I told you she was with me when I voted. She with me in the good and the bad.
Snitching on you, Pastor.
Yes, stop snitches. Snitches get stitches, ladies. Don't. So, like our goal now should be I'm talking about at our age, because the generation behind us is looking forward. And as much as I'm looking forward, I have to be pulling someone from behind me.
Right.
I can't move forward. The Bible says no man putting his hand to the plow looking back is fit for the kingdom. That's a valid statement, meaning don't look back at your mess. Don't allow yesterday's sins and yesterday's mistakes to disqualify you from your future. You're killing yourself.
Right.
But I have to look back because I got to reach back to those that are coming behind me. Right. And help pull them. Now, everybody doesn't need a pull. Right. Some folks are just going to, as a trailblazer, some folks are just going to walk and follow in that path that you laid for them. But there are certain people that are going to have to get a little bit of a pull from in front of them and they're going to need a little bit of a push from behind them. Right. The question is, where do we fit in? Right. Where do we fit in? The conversation today is, it's not about, I want you to go tell on them folks that's doing wrong in your neighborhood. The conversation is, you have to be more effective and more impactful in your neighborhood. Don't just sit idly by and watch your neighborhood fall away because you won't open up your mouth and say something. That's it right there. That's what this conversation is about.
Yes, that's the message. That's the message. So listen, we got to roll out of here. I don't mean to cut it short because we could probably go long on this. This is a good. We're gonna actually tomorrow. I'm a kind of take it in a slightly different direction. I don't want to say yet because I gotta see how I'm gonna shape it, but it's gonna deal with our community somewhat with reparations, and we're gonna tackle that UBI one more time, and me and Pastor gonna go at it, and I think I got the full plan. So we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. Oh, let me bring Dwayne in. So I appreciate you guys rocking with us and hanging with us. Like I said, everybody on Facebook, make sure you go to the Brothers of Legacy page. Thank you, Cole. I appreciate that. Go to the Brothers of Legacy page. Hit invite others to like. Hit the select all, and get all your people a part of this conversation. Because our goal as Brothers of Legacy is we want to change our community, and it starts with having these conversations, and then change begins to happen because our actions will match up with our words. All right.
Yes. Can I curve? Is this an announcement? Yes. I like the Master P and Baron Davis are reportedly to buy Reebok for $2.4 billion.
Wow.
Yes. This is what I'm talking about. You're talking about game changing transformation. He goes from selling weight because it's all he could do where he was in the Cali Oak projects, and which used to be the murder capital of America. He went from that to legally selling music out of his trunk when people was like, "Oh, that's garbage." Still did it, to owning his own, making more money in the music industry than everybody who we respected more than him, like the Jay-Z's and the people of that nature. Took that, started building, started making rap snacks, started doing movies, started doing clothes, whether people liked it or called it ugly. And now he's put himself in a position to spend $2.4 billion. People talk about Jay money. Master P got money, and what I love about Master P is he shown his blueprint to anybody who will listen.
Right.
But you know, the greatest part of that story, man, show you how old I am. is I saw Baron Davis play basketball in high school at Crossroads.
Nice.
That's what's crazy. You telling that whole story, and I'm like, man, I remember watching that dude in high school in LA play basketball, and remember saying he is a man amongst boys. And you fast forward now to see where he is and getting ready to acquire this major global organization. And I remember when that dude didn't have $2 in the bank.
Wow. Let that marinate, everybody.
Man.
My prayer is that, and I know it's not their responsibility. Like, they're to be responsible, maybe be examples, but just because I made it out don't mean I have to give it back. But prayerfully, he does something as far as building and creating jobs in the neighborhoods that he came from, in order so someone else can come up in a more legal way instead of having to go into the hustle. That's my prayer. And a lot of people that have come out of the hood like that. All right. So I appreciate you guys. Always know that we love you. God loves you more. Like Pastor's been saying for the last couple of days, if you haven't voted, make sure you vote. I don't know if early voting is still going on. Today may be the last day.
Today is the last day.
Today's the last day. Yeah. November 4th, right?
5th.
Is the 5th. Oh,
you mean January.
The date, yeah. Not November. January. Yeah. Yes, that is actual voting day. So if you if you can't do it today, make sure you vote. If you enjoyed it, make sure you vote. And like we always say, we don't persuade you who to vote for, because we want you to, that's your own convictions. But vote. Use your power. You've been given this right, because I don't believe it's a privilege. I believe it is a right. And that's a whole nother conversation as far as that being taken away. It's a right as an American citizen to vote. And I believe everybody should have the right to vote if they're an American citizens. And yeah, that's a whole nother discussion. But I appreciate you guys for rocking with us, and we look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. And like I said, go to Facebook, make sure you hit the like, invite people to like. All right. So take care, and we see you tomorrow. I didn't want to catch that. Good morning. Welcome to another edition. Good morning, everybody.